Hello, my name is Nicole Brown. I am an energy healer. I work within the quantum field, and I'm also a twin flame guide. So, chances are, if you have found me, you are on a journey of Hieros or divine union. Um, and more than likely, you are in a hierogamic partnership, which means that you have a soul contract with another soul to enter into divine union together within and throughout. So that's an individual process as much as it is a um, process of co-creation between you and a process of spiritual union. Um, between you as well. So, some people refer to the hierogamic partnership as a twin flame journey. And so I will refer to it as a twin flame journey, really as a means of restoring the sacredness of the true hierogamic partners and the the twinning of the heart that occurs through the spiritual union process. So we have um, our sacred heart flame. And as we go through or grow through the journey of Hieros Gamos, the journey of divine union with each other and also with Source, um, our hearts activate and that sacred flame within the heart twins with your sacred counterpart. And so I believe that's where the term twin flame came from, in reference to the flame of the heart and the twinning of the heart that occurs in various stages of union. And um, so while there is a lot of distortion and maybe confusion around the twin flame uh, journey or twin flame partnership, it really is a sacred um, union process. So, anyways, I was called to um, join my channel and create this healing. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for being at my channel, Soul Powered Creation. I'm so happy to have you as part of this collective, and I'm grateful that you are tuning in. So, I always set intentions. I realized that in a few of my videos, I hadn't stated my intention live on the channel. I always set my intention prior to recording that whatever I share, whatever healing is facilitated, whatever energetic healing is facilitated through me, that it's in alignment with the highest and best good of all and your highest and best good. I also command my sacred space and this sacred space, this container, as sacred and sovereign and in service to the sacred law of love, the sacred law of one and unity consciousness. Um, Sacred law of one is that sacred um, law that governs all life, our life, and the recognition that um, I am one with the divine. I am one with all. And you are one with the divine. You are one with all. Or perhaps source, whatever resonates for you. Being one with source, the source of all that is. And through that sacred oneness of connection, we are also one with all that is. So, um, I'm also activating the Christic failsafe, God protection blueprint and package for this sacred container, designating access only to that which is in 100% alignment to the sacred law of love, the sacred law of one, unity consciousness, and thy organic core, heart, soul signature frequency. And so it is. So, um, also, I'd like to share that any video that I have posted or energy healing that I've posted, it's always recommended to take what resonates with you and leave the rest. But also, you can revisit any healing or energy transmission that I have posted because they're loaded with activations. And so, sometimes listening once is just not enough. So, always inviting you to uh, re-listen and basically re-receive any energy video, energetic healing that I have posted. Um, so I really am uncertain about what is going to come through today, what wants to come through today. But since I have stated my intentions and commanded this space aloud, I would like to dive in with you. And so I'm just inviting you to find a quiet space where you can sit with your feet flat on the ground or Indian style, your spine straight, or maybe lie flat on the ground. Just a sacred space where you can really settle into this space. I don't recommend driving while listening, especially for the first time. And so I work with energy through sound, through breath, and through movement. It's just how I do what I do. So you may hear me sighing or speaking light language or breathing, sounding. It's just the way that the energy moves through me and how I work with it. So, um, inviting you now to settle into this sacred space and to enjoy the journey with me. I have no idea what's going to come through for us in support of us. I have set intention to bring in the support that is needed, um, that's most needed for the hierogamic journey at this time. Um, okay, so bringing your attention and your awareness to your breath, to the inhales and the exhales, allowing yourself to, allowing your mind to soften and to relax, shaking off any of the stresses of the week, any fears or concerns that have come up, disconnecting from the collective energy fields. And just allowing yourself to really settle into this space and to feel safe and supported and grateful. So, bringing your attention and your awareness to your heart, placing your hand on your heart, and tuning into that pulsation of your heart, that sacred pulsation of your heart. Oh, allowing yourself to take a nice deep inhale, breathing in and pausing before we exhale, breathing in love. I am love, breathing in love. And exhaling that love through your whole body and your whole being. Breathing in, I am joy. Breathing in now. And exhaling joy. Breathing in, I am peace. And exhaling peace through your whole being. And breathing in, I am a unity. Breathing in unity. And exhaling unity. Now see, sense, feel, and imagine. I'm going to activate your 12D shield or greater. So, your 12D shield supports the restoration of your organic tree of life and the restoration of the Kathara grid or the 12D grid. So I would like to invite you to activate your 12D shield. So bringing your attention and your awareness to the center of your pineal gland and sense your pineal gland is located in the center of your crown and or your skull. See, sense, feel, and imagine this beautiful six-pointed star within the center of your skull, within the center of your pineal gland. And however large or small you are seeing this is perfect and right. There's no right or wrong. So now see, sense, feel, and imagine your sacred star of unity dropping all the way down from your pineal gland, going down through the throat, down through the heart, down through the solar plexus, down through the navel, through the sacral center, through the root, passing through the root, and going all the way down below the bottoms of your feet, passing through your earth star chakra and stopping about 12 inches below your feet. See, sense, feel, and imagine this six-pointed star spinning and creating a beautiful solid platform or disc below your feet, about 360 degrees all the way around you, and at least arm's length wide or in diameter. So this disc, this platform, your base 12D shield can be as any size, as large or small, whatever feels perfect and right for you. I'm seeing that some have quite a large, expansive base shield, and I'm seeing that others are bringing their base shields in and creating more of like a cocoon space. So whatever is perfect and right for you in this now moment. And so from the bottom of your base shield, in the center, see that beautiful sacred star of unity dropping all the way down through all the layers of the earth, through the layers of dirt and rock and crystalline, going straight into the beloved core of our ascended Mother Earth, connecting your sacred star of unity into her sacred core, her heart core. And see, sense, feel, and imagine this beautiful blending and merging happening here with your star, your sacred star of unity and the heart of our beloved Mother Earth. See, sense, feel, and imagine her beautiful, loving, supportive, platinum energy saturating your beloved star of unity. Thanking our beloved Mother Earth for her love and her support. And now see, sense, feel, and imagine your sacred star of unity coming all the way back up through the layers of crystalline, the layers of rock, the layers of dirt, coming all the way back up, passing between, um, coming all the way back up, passing through the base shield, the center of the base shield, and coming all the way up, passing between the legs, coming back up through the pelvis, through the solar plex, through the heart, through the throat, passing out the center of the crown, going all the way up about 6 feet above you, or I'm sorry, 3 feet above you. However, this can be 6 feet for some, but whatever is perfect and right for you, just allow it to be. And now see, sense, feel, and imagine that sacred star creating a shield above you, 360 degrees all around you. And this is going to drop down and create this beautiful encapsulation with your base shield. So seeing the sides of your base shield coming all the way up, all around, and this is a tri-layered shield system that I'm seeing. So 3 layers, and connecting with your top shield. And now see, sense, feel, and imagine that center star of unity, that six-pointed star going all the way up through the atmosphere, out into the universe, all the way in to the very core of Source, into the great central sun, into the heart of creation. And now see, sense, feel, and imagine your star of unity blending and merging with this with the heart of creation and the great central sun. I'm hearing within the core of Andromeda. And now see, sense, feel, and imagine your sacred star of unity coming all the way back down, passing through your top, the center of your top shield, going all the way down through the center of your crown and all the way through the throat, and now stopping, dropping into the heart. See, sense, feel, and imagine that beautiful star within your heart, and feel now that you are connected to source above, source below, and source within. So we're going to activate your God still point or sovereign 0 point, which is located at the base of the sternum. That's your rib cage in the front. So in the center of your rib cage in the front, at the base of your sternum, below your heart, you can connect into your still point. It has its own, like if you put your fingers in that area, you can feel your fingers dip into your still point. So we're going to take a deep breath in, breathing in, and then on the exhale, we're just going to drop that star of unity into your still point. So breathing in now and exhale. We're going to take 3 deep breaths, breathing into the still point. So we're going to take 2 more deep breaths. So breathing in and holding before the exhale, and just exhaling into the still point. So breathing in and now exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Okay. And so inviting you to connect to your divine aspect, to the aspect of your consciousness that is always connected to source and that is limitless and eternal and always connected to your beloved counterpart. You and your beloved counterpart are one. It is through the illusion of separation that we have come to believe that we are separate from our sacred counterpart and separate from source. However, this is just an illusion, and it's part of our awakening journey um, to heal these wounds of separation. and to restore like that sacred remembrance that we are one with Source, that we are one with each other, that we are one with our counterpart. We have never truly been separate from our counterpart. Our physical experience, um, through our physical experience, some of us may be experiencing physical separation. However, spiritually, you are always connected. So, inviting you to tune into your sacred connection with your divine aspect. Ah, calling in your divine aspect that is supporting you with your hierogamic journey. Inviting you to feel this sacred connection, inviting you to remember this sacred connection, inviting you to tune in and connect to this aspect of your soul that is here for you now. And if it feels safe to you, inviting you to merge with this aspect of your being, clearing any channels, any blocked channels of connection with thy higher self, bringing in a restoration of the higher self channels of communication. And now, inviting you to connect to the divine aspect, the higher self of your sacred beloved counterpart. As hierogamic partners or twin flames, you share an energy field, you share an energy body, you share the same, you have and you share the same core heart soul signature frequency. So in the very core, you are one and the same. You are truly always connected spiritually, but through our sacred journey of Hyros Gamos, we chose to incarnate separately and to go through our own journeys. And it can actually it's actually common for twin souls to have the same karmic debt or the same karmic trauma, even though they have um, had individual journeys. So it's very common for that to happen as you are truly one soul in two bodies. And so part of the journey of Hyros Gamos is restoring that sacred wholeness within and also throughout, and healing those wounds of separation and restoring the templates of unity and the templates of sacred divine partnership. So it's truly okay for you to connect to your sacred counterparts' divine aspect. They are always with you, guiding you and leading you every step of the way on your journey. And they are part of your team. And some of you may have met your twin flame, while others of you are still calling in your twin flame. But I see reunions and um, unions, initial unions, coming in fast for the collective. Um, in this time that we are in right now, the hierogamic partners, many of them are being called into sacred partnership. with each other to serve their mission together because twin souls are here to serve a sacred mission with each other. And so I'm actually seeing that even if you have not physically met your um, hierogamic partner, that there's many unions that are coming in fast. So, and I'm seeing reunions happening for others. Those of you perhaps that have met your twin soul at earlier stage in your journey, but things were possibly just things were potentially not in divine alignment for you at the time, or whatever it might be. You came in and you activated each other, and then initiated your sacred healing journeys. And so I'm seeing some have been on a healing journey for quite some time now and have gone through their own sacred union process, their own healing process to literally, energetically, and vibrationally align with union with their sacred counterpart. And I'm seeing others have been on their healing journeys individually for a while now. And through this um, journey that they've been on, through this journey that you've been on, doing your healing work and um, this has actually supported um, and magnetized you to your twin soul. So I'm seeing your twin soul coming in for you. And I'm actually seeing this as for some where you've met and activated each other and then went through your healing journeys together or together spiritually, but physically separate. There's others that have been going on their healing journeys individually. And then when they come into union with their counterpart, it'll be harmonious because of the healing that has occurred. And then I'm seeing the reunions also being harmonious because of all the healing that occurred since the activation occurred, since that first meeting. So, so, all right. So, what is the healing what is the support that is needed most at this time for our hierogamic partnership? So bringing your awareness to our councils and our guides and our teams, hierogamic partnerships have a hierogamic council team supporting them. So this information, this wisdom wants to come through for you that you have a whole team that is supporting you on your journey. And so inviting you um, to trust and ask for the support that is needed. So, um, our teams are like here, always waiting to support and assist us, but we also must ask them to intervene on our highest and best good to assist us with whatever it is that is come up in our life in this now moment that we need the support with, to assist us with moving through the challenges, whatever it is. So, bring in that awareness that it's always important to ask for help, to ask for support. Okay. So what is, okay, there's something that wishes to come through from our hierogamic councils. Okay. So I'm seeing our hierogamic councils stepping forward and they're providing, okay, so they're bringing in a divine act, like it's a divine assistance that is perfect. That's like perfect for you and your situation. So, and this is different for everybody, but it's like literally energetic assistance that's coming in and divine alignment that is being brought in for each individual partnership and what is needed for you in this now moment. Clearing the energy field of any false karmic timelines that have been activated. Right now, there's a lot of false karmic timelines that are activated. And these are timelines of um, trauma between like the masculine and the feminine. So, trust wounds between the masculine and the feminine, and trust wounds with um, the individual and source. Like, I'm almost feeling like um, feeling abandoned by source and um, feeling like abandoned on your journey, feeling alone, loneliness. So this is all connected to wounds of separation and but also karmic timelines that have been activated. Oh, so bringing in some more clarity on karmic timelines that are activated that may be impacting um, the experience at this now moment. Okay, so all right, so part of a healing on the journey of hierogamic union is coming to the realization that all souls in our life are all experiences are serving as mirrors to us. And our twin soul serves as a mirror of our deepest wounds and also our greatest love. And so our twin soul will often activate our deepest wounds where we have experienced in our core the trauma of feeling unloved or rejected or abandoned. And it's not that um, they're truly like phantoms because it's not the truth of what's actually happening, but it's stirred up this trauma within you. And so the other part of this is that when we are holding trauma with other males, so perhaps so this is like touching on the mistrust between the feminine and the masculine. So when you have experienced trauma in another relationship with the other gender, what can happen is you experience a trauma where where you feel like it's not safe to trust the masculine, or you feel that it's not safe to trust the feminine. And so then what happens is you meet your counterpart, and now your counterpart loves you more deeply than you could ever experience with another being, but yet you have this trust wound that's been stirred up of feeling unsafe to trust the masculine because of trauma you've had in other relationships with other people. And so, so any wound that you are holding where you feel unsafe to trust the other polarity, the other gender, or basically the other polarity, that is going to negatively impact your connection, your union with your twin soul. So when we are working to close out relationships with other um, partners that we have had, that's actually a really potently powerful time for us to do our inner work and really heal the wounds that we have experienced with them so that they then in turn don't flood over and impact our relationship with our partner, with our sacred partner. So anywhere, um, I'm seeing like mistrust wounds. I'm seeing mistrust between the counterparts. So what do we need to do to um I'm hearing like eradicate these mistrust wounds between the polarities, where the polarities have felt unsafe to fully trust each other, unsafe to fully open and receive love. So there's karmic shadow imprints that each polarity is impacted by. So, like the karmic shadow imprint of the feminine and the karmic shadow imprint of the masculine. So, these are karmic imprints that are connected to the collective timelines um, of trauma. So, clearing out these collective karmic shadow imprints through the polarities, through the divine masculine and through the divine feminine, clearing any collective shadow imprints. There's a lot stirred up in the collective right now. Clearing, clearing any, clearing any collective shadow imprinting from the collective of twin flames. So clearing that out, any trauma, any shadow imprints from the collective of twin flames, asking for this to be fully purged and cleared from the system. Any karmic twin flame contracts, karmic twin flame, collective twin flame storylines, and any collective twin flame timeline trauma. Okay. So, oh, all right. So healing is coming through also for power. So power abuse. So anywhere that the polarities have experienced timelines of power abuse or power misuse or abandonment of power. So anywhere that you are feeling um, to helpless to change your situation or any kind of helplessness. So this is like an abandonment of power or anywhere you are have been rejecting power, like you don't want to take on that responsibility or that leadership, like where you've walked away from stepping into leadership because of the fear of responsibility. And so I'm seeing that this goes spans across multiple timelines where being in a role of leadership and authority as a leader and owning your authority, perhaps you've made some calls that had negative impacts for the collective that you were leading. So there's like this fear of this abandonment of your power and this abandonment of leadership because of fear of the repercussions of misleading or misguiding or making the wrong call. Um, so like I'm seeing different examples, like a captain that's on a ship and makes a call that ends up destroying his crew and the ship. Um, or I'm seeing a leader of a community, um, like indigenous community, and um, a lack of discernment, creating the wrong call that then led to um, trauma and death and like the loss of community. So, ah, so these fears of failure, basically, they're more than failure because they're failure with repercussions that impact more than just the individual. They impact the community, they impact others around them. And so there's a timeline trauma that's surfacing that is negatively impacting ownership of authority and ownership of leadership and the willingness to step into leadership. But then this is also connected to the heart as well and grief around, your lack of discernment in other timelines or your leadership calls impacting all of those around you negatively. So, a sense of unworthiness, like a feeling of being unworthy to be a leader, of being unworthy to be in a position of leadership. So this impacts the masculine polarity, our ability to act, our willpower, our ability to take action. And as twin souls, we are called into places of leadership. We are leaders. Um, and so this can also be negatively impacting um, your direction. Like you could be backing away from being a healer, your calling. So this can be negatively impacting your alignment with your soul's calling in this lifetime, like to be a healer, to be a guide, to share your wisdom. So, and when I say this impacts the masculine polarity, we are both every soul, everything in existence is a balance between the masculine and feminine polarities, the yin and the yang, the positive and the negative. So this, when I reference the masculine, this impacts our own masculine energy within and also throughout. So I'm not referencing the masculine as gender related, but just simply our ability, our masculine polarity within that space from within us where we exercise our power, where we use our power, where we take action, where we our willpower. So so bringing and clearing for these timeline trigger events that are creating um, uh, creating a disconnect with the inner authority, the inner power, the inner willpower, and the masculine polarity and the sense to take divine right action. Um, and it's also there's an indecision that can occur when we experience trauma around like when we experience trauma where we've made decisions and our decisions have negatively impacted community, self, others. So then there can be an type of indecision that happens where it's time for you to make a decision and now you're unsure, like doubting yourself, doubting the decision, afraid of the impact the decision is going to make. Um, okay. So I'm also seeing um, a sense of, okay, so clearing all of that out, the indecision, the self-doubt, the unworthiness, the fear of power, the abandonment of one's own power, and the misuse of power and power abuse trauma. So if you have experienced power abuse trauma, it's important to clear power abuse trauma out because it negatively impacts how safe you feel opening to receive your sacred partner, whether you're male, female, whatever gender you are or relate to. Okay. Okay, so this is a self-trust wound also, like feeling unsafe to trust yourself, feeling unsafe to trust your inner knowing, or feeling unsafe to trust the direction you're being called, the steps you're feeling that you should take, your next action, whatever it might be. So there's a level of self-trust wounds that are created when we experience um, leadership trauma or, trauma where our decisions have negatively impacted ourselves or negatively impacted community or those around us. So, healing these wounds of self-trust that are also connected to this type of trauma. Ah, and restoring that sacred sense of um, being safe to trust self and source and your inner knowing and what it feels like, restoring what it feels like to be discerning and to have discernment. And so I'm hearing like wishy-washy, like feeling wishy-washy about your partner or feeling uncertain or wishy-washy about a situation. So, wishy-washy about the decision that you need to make, or the choice that you have made or are making. So, um, feeling that doubt, was this the right decision? Was this the right choice? Did I do the right thing? So clearing out that doubt, that self-doubt, and really knowing that there is no right or wrong decision. So removing any polarity around any decisions or choices that you're having to make right now, and remembering that you are fully supported in every way. So with every decision or choice that you make, there is an outcome. And so these outcomes can change, everything can change, and through every decision and choice that we make, it's a learning experience, an opportunity for us to grow, to deepen our self-trust. And so bringing in clarity on the right decision, the right choice to make. So I see our divine teams coming in with alignment for the highest desired outcome. So bringing in a calibration and alignment for the highest desired outcome um, that is needed in this now moment. And so I'm also seeing a sense of stubbornness. So a sense of maybe not wanting to give and a sense of being really set in um, our way. So there's okay. So sometimes achieving our highest desired outcome does not look like it and in the moment, but that's because we can't see um, beyond the we can't see beyond the immediate um, I'm hearing like loss. So maybe we're needing to make a decision that feels like it's going to create loss. Um, this loss is creating space for for the desired highest outcome that will follow. So it's like this clearing is needed to happen in order for that highest desired outcome to come in. So, so there's like this sense of stubbornness or being set and not wanting to give. So like maybe um and negotiate. Okay, I'm hearing negotiations. So I'm feeling for some there's like negotiations that are needing to be made, um, and decisions and choices that are coming with these negotiations. And I'm seeing that we have to be, that it's okay to, oh, what is this? It's okay to trust that whatever negotiations we're moving through, if they feel like we're being pruned or experiencing a loss of sorts, it's okay to trust that on the other side of that is the desired outcome. So it's like step by step by step. So negotiation through negotiation through negotiation. Um, But so through being unwilling to negotiate, that's also there's like a lack of a fear of losing control and a fear of loss. And this comes from a lack of trust. And so, okay, so I'm seeing there's like perhaps an ending of relationships, and there's like I don't want to say a warring. There's negotiations being made to end the relationship, and I'm seeing a tug of war rope, and I'm seeing both parties holding this tug of war rope, and I'm seeing it pulled extremely tight, and there is a whole lot of tension on this tug of war rope, and I'm seeing both people having their heels dug in, and like no one is going to let go of this tug of war rope. And so this is like a stalemate, is what I'm hearing. So, what do we need to do to release this karmic tension, this karmic trauma, this karmic debt? What do we need to do to find the highest resolution for all and to clear, to align with the highest desired outcome? Okay, so this is funny. I'm seeing the divine aspect step in with this gigantic pair of like scissors. It's kind of funny, it's comical, and they're cutting the tug of war rope in the middle. Um, and so now both parties are on their butt and both parties are pissed off. Okay, so okay, so this is like remembering your power. So you're being called to remember your power. And so it's like you're not wanting to give this up, you're not wanting to let go, you're not wanting to surrender. But that's also coming from like a lack. standpoint and a place where you're not fully standing in the truth of your power because you're infinitely powerful and I'm seeing like this incredibly powerful magician that you can create. You're here to create, learn the power of your creation and learn your power to create. And you are aware of your power to create. So just so reclaiming all power given knowingly and unknowingly, recalling all of your power back to you. And it's okay to let go. Through letting go, um you are showing, so you're allowing source to intervene for your highest and best good and the highest and best good of all. But there's like a level of fear here with trusting source to intervene for your highest and best good. And this goes back to like an abandonment wound of feeling abandoned by source, like the frustration of having to fight, overcome so many challenges, and the frustration of like feeling like you've been on this journey all alone and you've worked so hard for everything you have and it's been all of your hard work, all of your time, all of your energy. Ah, and so just bringing in, restoring a sense of safety, what it feels like to be safe to let go and trust source, what it feels like to be safe to trust that you really fully are divinely guided, divinely supported, and to trust your divine authority, your divine power, and your divine power to create. Like there's no limit to your ability to create, none. And so I'm seeing that through whatever negotiation you're having to make that feels like a loss or a pruning or a cutting away, that that is just like a pruning to support all the new growth that's going to come afterwards. So just trusting that through what is feeling like a setback or a pruning in this now moment, that it's literally creating this space and what's needed for the growth that is right on the other side. Okay. And and so restoring that sense of trust with source, with self, and with other, and activating that highest desired outcome and detaching. So allowing it to detaching from how it unfolds, detaching from knowing how it unfolds, and allowing yourself to just trust that it will unfold, that it is unfolding. And ah, so I'm also hearing that like um, the other party in these negotiations are not, um, they don't have emotional intelligence or awareness, and they're not awakened. And so this presents extra challenges, but that um, you have to hold space for the understanding that this party is unawakened and not in tune with their true sense of power and authority. And so it's almost as if they're looking to take your power because they're not in tune with their own power. So clearing any karmic contracts with any third party negotiations, clearing any karmic contracts with any third parties, with any other persons, beings, entities that are siphoning divine power and divine authority and divine will. Ah, I'm seeing this can even be in working relationships, in intimate relationships, in family dynamics. So this can express in multiple ways. So third party can express in multiple ways. So clearing the siphoning, the energetic siphoning of power and a divine authority, and clearing these contracts for all. Returning all to rightful owner. So returning all fire letters, all DNA, all fire codes, all flashline sequences, all vector codes, all jewels, crystals, wings, body parts, returning all to rightful owner, all scrolls, returning all to rightful owner, returning all divine authority, restoring sovereignty to all through all, and clearing any entity attachments, any oaths, vows, contracts, consent given knowingly or unknowingly through all time, dimension, spaces, places. Okay. Activating a flame of transmutation to transmute this energy and these contracts and any shadow imprints, clearing the pain body, the shadow body. Okay. And clearing any entities from this space, from these agreements, contracts, oaths, vows, consent, whatever it is, commanding um, commanding the full completion and dissolution of these karmic contracts, oath, vows, and agreements, consent, um, timelines. So you have the right to your own, you have the right to return to source or to another time-space continuum for further rehabilitation. You have the right to choose. Please choose now. Okay, and so I'm seeing that there's ancestral agreements connected to this. So in some way, there's ancestral agreements connected to um, inheritance, negotiations. So bringing in the ancestral lines to going forwards and backwards, bringing in the ancestral lines. So, okay, so it's almost as if this agreement is activating these negotiations, this siphoning of power, whatever this is happening, like it is activating an ancestral debt and the karmic loss of the ancestral line. So it's like you're feeling, you're not even feeling really like what is your own loss. You're feeling the loss of the ancestral line. But there's also um, in some way, whatever this is, the inheritance or ancestral line is connected into this. So bringing in a reclamation of divine um, sovereign authority and power for the ancestral line, reclaiming the divine inheritance of the ancestral line. Okay, so it's as if at some point there was a surrendering of the divine inheritance of the ancestral line. And so through this surrendering, it's as if there's an inability to receive your inheritance or your what is rightfully yours or your negotiations. Like there's an inability to be open to fully for the negotiations to align with the desired highest outcome. So asking the ancestral records keepers to identify and clear these oath, vows, and contracts connected to the surrendering or the stealing. Okay, the stealing or surrendering of the divine inheritance, of the inheritance of the ancestral line. So, and this I'm feeling is directly impacting like the power center, the raw center. So, liberating the ancestral line to receive their divine inheritance and liberating the ancestral line to be free to receive their divine inheritance, to be free to reclaim their divine inheritance. And anywhere and clearing the trauma of when inheritance and divine inheritance has created warring and has created contention and has created uh, grief and sorrow and conflict. So there's like a fighting over the inheritance. So each each party, one party being feeling robbed of their inheritance, the other party being disconnected from their power to create and their power to um, their sense of worthiness to receive their divine inheritance. So instead, they're taking their divine inheritance instead of um, receiving or sharing. So clearing this dynamic where it's expressing through the individual experience and timeline. Bringing in reconciliation, divine reconciliation, and applying the 777 Master Codex to fully clear this trauma, offering gratitude to our brain new councils, to our solar Risha councils, to our hierogamic councils. And there's also this sense of it's mine, mine, mine. So I keep hearing mine, mine, mine. So clearing the trauma of jealousy, the trauma of envy, the trauma of being left out of the divine inheritance, the trauma of the divine inheritance being stolen, the trauma of the divine inheritance being given away, the grief, the loss, and returning all power back to rightful owner, all divine inheritance back to rightful owner, returning all sovereignty and divine authority back to rightful owner. Clearing this through the cellular memory imprints, through the digestive system, through the raw center, restoring sovereignty to the raw center, to the solar power center. Oh. And so I'm literally seeing like a celebration happening for the divine inheritance and restoring a sense of divine worthiness, being worthy to receive, being safe and open to receive. Ah, and clearing this through the grids, through the ley lines where this trauma has occurred, where it's anchored in, planetary, other planetary, and through the physical vessel, through the physical body. Bringing in an accidental line, clearing of all meridians, grids, ley lines. And I'm seeing beautiful golden plasmic energy flooding through the grids and the ley lines, where there was any black goo, slime, sludge, anything like that, where there was any blockages. I'm seeing this beautiful flushing of golden plasmic energy through the grids. Ah. I'm even seeing like how for some of you in other timelines, okay, this is interesting. So where these negotiations are being made or where this conflict is occurring or war, like I'm seeing like how the other party on the other end of this was in another timeline with you where you were literally fighting over an inheritance, fighting over um uh, yeah, so it was like there's a sense of one being lost, lo like one losing and the other, like one losing and feeling defeated and then victimized and spiteful and um, uh, vengeful, and then the other feeling like I'm going to do whatever it takes to come out on top and get this, like have this, like this is mine. And so, and I'm seeing this as a storyline through the ancestral line as well. So it was like in another timeline, you were like siblings warring over inheritance. And now you're in this timeline, and you could very well be siblings. You could be like partners trying to separate. You could be, um, it could be like a working relationship. So it's like there's a reconciliation that's happening. So for the loss, for the trauma that happened, for the and then also where like that divine inheritance might have been obtained through means that were dishonest and so restoring harmony through all and bringing in God's forgiveness, bringing in divine forgiveness, bring in divine grace, bring in divine sovereignty for all, and really, really, really holding, restoring the highest, the purest consciousness, restoring that remembrance of who you are, and in choosing to heal this trauma and choosing to clear this timeline and choosing to restore and redeem yourself, you're also redeeming all others. And so there is a resolution, there is a ah, like this changes the energy. So this aligns, this creates a vibrational frequency set point that will align you with your highest desired outcome. And I'm seeing like it was needed, like I'm hearing completion, 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 like bringing this all into completion for all, through all, across all time and space. Ah, and restoring forgiveness through the family line, through the ancestral lines, um, restoring, restoring forgiveness through, um, yes, restoring forgiveness through all. And integrating the shadow and the soul fragments, bringing in soul fragment purification, soul fragment restoration, and soul fragment integration for the aspects of your soul that have been kind of like timeline trapped in this kind of trauma that has created, that is negatively impacting your reality here and now. That's so just oh. And so, okay, so going back to the inheritance, I keep hearing the story, seeing the story of Joseph and his coat of many colors. It's a biblical story. And so Joseph and his coat of many colors was favored by his father. And he was, therefore, because he was the favored child, um, his siblings, it created contention and trauma between him and his other siblings, and so he was sold into slavery by his siblings because out of spite because of the love that his father had for him, but also because he was the favored, the chosen one. So there's also a trauma around this, um, a trauma around being the favorite or being chosen, or and how this creates an disharmonious family dynamic. But then at the core of it, it's like that loss of sovereignty, it's that loss of inheritance, but also like a fear of being loved and a fear of shining too bright, like Joseph in his coat of many colors. It got him in trouble and it sold him into slavery. So this also, there's um awareness wanting to come in around this and how this has been, also why you've been minimizing yourself, perhaps, or afraid to really um, be seen, and a fear of shining too bright, or a fear, even a fear of being loved too deeply, because then it creates um, dis trauma, disharmony between you and those around you. So, and this, like, I'm seeing how this ripple has rippled through the family line, through your own life, like, that dynamic of, of the favorite one, the chosen one. So clearing this trauma and restoring, um, the divine spark, the divine knowing, that self-love activation, bringing in divine unconditional love, that you are safe to be seen, you are safe to shine, you are safe to be loved, you are worthy, being seen, being loved, being adored, is safe. You are worthy and you deserve this. Ah, and that it is not your fault. So bring in forgiveness of self where you've potentially been blaming yourself. You are allowed to stand in your authority and your power. You're allowed to be seen. And so I'm seeing like how like one ancestor was sold into slavery and then that impoverished the entire ancestral line. And so I'm seeing how this also is like liberating, it's restoring harmony and liberating like that, like so also that sense of outcast. So healing that of being outcast. Okay. All right. And restoring that sense of worthiness, divine worthiness. Okay. And so I'm seeing completion with this situation or these negotiations, this person, this experience, this family, this dynamic. So there's like a big completion for this. Ah. And I'm seeing the energy of this third party, of this dynamic, of the other person on this side of that tug of war rope. Like I'm seeing all of them, like the energy, like step back. So there's been a restoration of sovereignty. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Offering love and gratitude. A reconciliation. There's about to be a reconciliation, or there has been, or there will be. That will manifest in your physical reality now. So, like the reconciliation has already occurred spiritually, and it's only a matter of time before it filters into 3D, into manifested reality, into matter. So, anchoring in the heaven on earth frequencies. It is the twin soul mission, part of the twin soul mission to bridge heaven and earth, to create, to restore the heaven on earth templates within and throughout. So bringing in, oh, the frequencies and energies of heaven on earth and of unity, restoring oneness and unity, peace. And thanking our divine teams and guides for the support and assistance, and activating um, the Venusian goddess dragon egg technology and crystal lotus technology. Activate and fortify your double diamond sun body and diamond crystal healing chamber to support you with the integration. Bring in the exact divine plasmas and energies that are needed for you now to support you in all ways. And I'm seeing like a beautiful celebration with all of the teams, the guides, the ancestors, and reclaiming like that beautiful reclamation of divine inheritance. So, reclaiming the gifts of the ancestral line, going forwards and backwards. Ah, through all time and space. And so it is. returning all energy to rightful owner, returning all of your energy back to you, and returning all of my energy back to me. And initiate and activate end session completion. And so it is.